Huddle up, Steelers Nation. It's Tank and Mike for Steelers Chalk Talk, coming this fall on 22 The Point every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. I'm Tank Tantlinger. I played left bench at Pitt. He's Mike. You got any college football experience?
A little bit.
Yeah, where?
Rutgers University.
What position?
Quarterback.
Okay, that's better than me playing left bench at Pitt. Hey, I also worked for the NFL Players Association. Got any NFL experience?
Yeah, actually I do. I actually played in the first preseason game here at the stadium.
For who?
The Detroit Lions.
Play for anybody else?
The soon to be what the old Pittsburgh Steelers was with Bill Cowher, Dan Campbell. Like what he's doing up in Detroit. And we'll talk about the Steelers, but I'm going to throw in some Detroit stuff here and there.
Hey, guess what? Mike also played quarterback for the Eagles and the Vikings. Former NFL quarterback Mike McMahon, Tank Tantlinger, in your living rooms, in your basements, in your Steeler caves, every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. on 22 The Point. Say huddle up, Mike.
Huddle up, Randy. Huddle up.
We'll see you then. Huddle up, Steelers Nation. It's Tank and Mike. Well, Mike, the echoes, the silence at Acrisure, I'll have another drink stadium, are deafening right now. The Steelers missed the playoffs. Let's talk about this offense before we begin. It's Tuesday. Matt Canada is still the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. Right decision, wrong decision?
It's a tough decision. They started to turn things around a little bit near the end of the year. You got a young rookie quarterback. He's going to feel comfortable with them. And you got to see what else is out there. If there's, you don't want to say you're going looking for someone and not find someone better than what you have.
I think whoever they get is going to get better. I told you this before. They stumbled into this successful offense. I think the resounding cheers of fire Matt Canada were so loud that Tomlin sat him down and Kahn sat him down and said, no more jet sweeps, no more this, that, and that, and that. Simplify the offense. How do you do that? Well, you hand it off to Najee Harris. Warren was a wonderful surprise to have. Where was Freiermuth at the beginning of the season? You knew you had a proven asset in him, and they didn't even use the middle of the field. I think they stumbled backwards into this successful offense because they reined Canada in.
One of the things they did that, to me, that really helped to turn the team around was getting rid of Chase Claypool and getting a second-round pick from him. I thought he was a distraction in the locker room. He goes to Chicago, and they think they've got this great receiver, and he doesn't really do much there as well. What that did was it essentially gave George Pickens a chance to get on the field more and get more balls thrown to him. They need to utilize George Pickens more. They need to utilize Freiermuth more, and you got to get the play-action pass game going. Run the ball, show the ball, pass it right behind him, and I think that will help. That play action passes helps a young quarterback, but a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend, best weapon.
Okay, so time out. That is good advice from a guy that's played the game at the highest level, and it's pretty much common sense as well. So Trubisky has the first 3 games. They decide to make the change to Kenny Pickett. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't that have been obvious to Matt Canada? This is what I need to now do, go to play action, hand it off to the 2 running backs, hit Freiermuth? Shouldn't it have been obvious? Why did it take a pounding to go that way?
It should have been that way from the start, even with Mitch Trubisky. I think, he's a young quarterback in himself. He's kind of bounced around. He's been on 2 teams already before. He's trying to find a spot for himself. And they didn't really do a great job of helping him out as well. They don't have Ben Roethlisberger back there anymore, where he can kind of just come up to the line of scrimmage and audible and do whatever he wants to do and then be able to sling it around the field. He had a special talent. They don't have that now. You have 2 young quarterbacks. You got to give them a chance to be successful. So by doing that, you got to lean on that run game and the play action pass.
As you saw the season develop, whether Matt Canada got reined in or whether he got his head out of his 3rd point of contact, we'll never know. But I love what I saw out of this offense as it developed. Najee was hurt to start the season. He got healthier. He told us in the locker room, I got healthier. He got better. Jaylen Warren explodes. You have a 2-headed monster. You have Freiermuth. George Pickens I mean, what is your assessment of him? He's got 804 yards on the season. They didn't even hardly throw to him the first 4 games. And all of a sudden, everything you throw at him, he catches.
Well,
who does he remind you of that you've played with in the league before, Mike?
Well, first of all, you got to look at him. You got a glimpse of him in the preseason, but they had money invested elsewhere, and they had the Chase Claypool, in which they should have been rotating him in more, giving him more throws. You saw a little bit of a comfort level when Kenny Pickett came in, kind of giving him some more opportunities. He makes those big time catches. I think the Odell-esque type catch he made kind of put him on the national radar now, because he was all over Stil'rs' radar in the preseason. But now, after making that catch, everyone's kind of looking at him. He goes out, he's physical, he likes to block, he plays Stil'rs mentality. He's like a cross between, he's kind of like a T.O., but like a Hines Ward as well, where, hey, I'm going to come in and hit you right
That
in
is
the mouth.
high compliment.
Yeah, he is.
That is high compliment. Here's the thing, too, and shame on you people out there in Steeler Nation that got on the rookie who had the meltdown on the sidelines. Oh, he can't act like that. That's what I want to see in a football player. Somebody that cares, somebody that's emotionally invested and doesn't care that he's a rookie and is going to start screaming and yelling I want to win.
Well, it's a fine line, and you got to be able to reel that in some, and sometimes allow that to come out, and sometimes you got to just dial it back a little bit. And when you have that, you've got guys that care. And the one thing I noticed as the season progressed and when Najee Harris got healthy, you saw a different running back. He was like, yeah, he hurdles guys out in the edge, but now he's doing it in between the tackles. He's refusing to go down. He literally put that team on his back in that Ravens game and carried them to victory.
Yes, he did. Derek the Horse Henry down there is a different type of animal for the tall men of Tennessee, no doubt about it. If Najee can start keeping his feet on the ground, the old saying, run to pay dirt, run to the end zone, I mean, I think this guy has huge upside. Plus now Jaylen Warren, I mean, out of nowhere, unrestricted free agent says, I want to play football in the NFL. Going into next season, I love what they have here. But let's go ahead and make that huge arc right now. Mike, if you don't have the big hogs in front of you blocking, let's talk about where the season began with the line and where it ended with the line. What did you see?
Yeah, it's got to get better. It's got to improve all around, and you got to start with the run blocking first. The run blocking gets better. It helps the run game, which eventually is going to help the pass game because it's going to slow down the rush. It's going to help the offensive line on the pass protection and not get that. And then eventually you're going to start getting those blitzes and stuff, and they got to be able to communicate off that. But they got to get better. They need maybe 1 or 2 extra pieces in there, someone that's going to come in, be a no nonsense, or just, hey, this is us now, this is who we are, we have to get better, we have to look in the mirror. We're the reason why we struggled a little bit on the offense this year. Yeah, we had a young quarterback, but he played good enough for us to win. We got to do better now offensively, because the defense did their part. They picked it up midway through the season, and I actually think this is. And now I know they didn't make the playoffs. I know they didn't do anything, but personally, of all the years that Coach Tomlin has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, this was his best year coaching. Wow. They went from a
2-6
losing season, and the writing was on the wall. I mean, you and I both, we talked a little bit, didn't think it was going to happen. And we're able to come out with a winning season, still a non-losing season. So, and that's tough. That's extremely tough when you see that the playoffs are in a far distance, and now you're just playing just to play. I mean, it's very easy for those guys to kind of in the locker room, their minds to wander. Oh, see this, or we're doing this, we're doing that, pointing fingers. They stayed focused. They took each game at a time. They found a way to win each game.
I would agree with that. Mike Tomlin, throughout the course of his career, when you look at some of the seasons, they've had horrible starts. Mm-hmm. They've done some great mid-season corrections. Terry Bradshaw once was admonished for saying that Coach Tomlin was a cheerleader type of coach. Well, Mike, sometimes you need that, especially when you're 2-6. You need a cheerleader type of coach that is going to say, guys, We got to huddle up. We got to man up. We got to team up. It's us against the world, and one game at a time, and it bore fruit.
Well, in the years past, typically you see the Steelers, you know, they will go on and they will play the tough games. They will win those tough games. And then there comes along a team that they should completely blow out, and they end up giving up a loss.
Do you want me to bring up the Raiders game a couple years ago? The Jacksonville playoff game.
I understand.
The Browns playoff game.
Maybe the fact that, you know, they were like, well, heck, we're going to lose every game this year. Maybe that helped them somewhat, but they came prepared and they found a way to win. Now, yeah, you get a little luck. Lamar Jackson's help for the Ravens. But still, with that being said, they found ways to win football games. They came together as a team. Defense played solid, got a lot of turnovers at the end of the season. Offense played smart for the most part. And you saw the turnover ratio for Kenny Pickett go down as well, too.
Well, that's our assessment as we finish out the year for the offense. For your Pittsburgh Steelers, no doubt about this, 17th first-round pick. In essence, the Claypool pick gives them the first pick of the second round, a 32nd pick. It's up to them. Who do you grab? 1 and 2. I know what I'm getting, a linebacker and a corner.
What
do you, Scooby-Doo?
I like offensive line.
There you go. All right, we'll see you in Latrobe.